Welcome to Spenelli Speaks. Hi everyone, Danny here. Welcome back to my channel. I am going to be doing a tag today, and I was thinking, going through my tags again, I know I'm getting to all of my tags. I was thinking, what tag would make most sense to do today? And since we will be celebrating Thanksgiving coming up here in the United States, I figured, why not do Sarah's Fit for Reading tag? Because with Thanksgiving comes usually a big meal, and what better way to prepare than to get fit, right? So if you are new here, I hope you stick around and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you always know when my content is fresh for the viewing. So like I said, I'm going to be doing Sarah's Fit to Read tag, and there's a couple of different things here that we are going to talk about. And in her tag, it all revolves around fitness. So I figured I should probably get ready for this. Now that I'm ready to do the tag, let's get into it. The first question is Zumba. Name a twisty and turny book that was super fun to read. For this one, I have to pick Dan Brown's Deception Point. This book, I could not stop reading. Every page I turned, I was just completely engrossed by what was happening and what could happen next. What this book is about, so it says, when a NASA satellite discovers an astonishing rare object buried deep in the Arctic ice, the floundering space agency proclaims a much-needed victory. A victory with profound implications for NASA policy and the impending presidential election. To verify the authenticity of the find, the White House calls upon the skills of intelligence analyst Rachel Sexton. Accompanied by the team of experts, including the charismatic scholar Michael Toland, Rachel travels to the Arctic and uncovers the unthinkable evidence of scientific trickery, a bold deception that threatens to plunge the world into controversy. Let me tell you, everything that you thought would happen, as soon as you turn a page, it was complete opposite. This book was so good. I could not stop reading it. It is a good almost 600 pages. You fly through it. It's so good. Next question, CrossFit. What is the most intense book you've read? So for this one, I have to go with the third installment of Deborah Harkness's All Souls trilogy, which is The Book of Life. The reason why I picked this book is everything that's happening has come to a head with the first two books. And I don't want to give too much away, but this was truly intense. You didn't know how it was going to end, if all of the loose ends were going to be tied up. And I have to tell you, until you get to the very last page, you are just on the edge of your seat. Number 3, Burpees suck. Name a book you hated. Now this isn't a book per se. It is a poem technically, but it's The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. Need I say more? Basically, T.S. Eliot likes to create work that only scholars can read. He doesn't really care to write for regular people. Wants to show how smart he is. I hated it. Number 4, Intermural Sports. What book were you assigned to read in school, but you ended up liking it so much you couldn't wait to read it at night? For this one, I have to go with Franz Kafka's The Trial. This was so intriguing. The ambiguity of this book is really what sucked me in. So this is written in 1914, and it is about a banker, and he is basically accused of a crime, but never told what the crime is. Pretty sure that he is Jewish and that's the crime. You kind of figure it out as a reader, but the ambiguity of all of it is really truly the main point of this book. The fact that someone is just arrested, given no reason, goes through court, goes through a trial, and just never understands what he is being what he is being accused of anything. It is the most ambiguous book I have ever read. If anybody wants to do a buddy read with me on this, I would love to do a buddy read with you. I have read this once and I freaking loved it. So absolutely, please let me know if you want to do a buddy read on Franz Kafka's The Trial. So number 5 is running/jogging. Name a book that follows all the standard tropes, but you still enjoyed it. So this is actually another book that I did have to read for a class. It's a romance novel. A really big one. But it's called Bet Me by Jennifer Cruz, I think. Cruzy? I'm not sure. It is your standard romance novel. It's about this woman. She's a little bit bigger, I guess you could say. And she doesn't really believe in love and she's been dumped, you know, that kind of thing. So she's all like off of love. And then she meets this guy who actually was bet to ask her out, and it turns out that she was too or something. It's been a while that I've read this book, but all in all, at the end of the day, it was enjoyable. It was good, and there are a lot of different things in here. Like I said, this is a really big book. It's, let's see, like almost 500 pages for a romance novel, but all in all, it was pretty good. Number 6 is Jazzercise. This is a book you enjoy that is outdated or published long ago. Now, this one, I wasn't really sure what to go with because, I mean, I read a lot of classics and I'm really not sure what is considered outdated at this point. So instead, I found an author that I've read that isn't really new, that I have seen a lot on BookTube. So that is Anne Hood. And I've read her The Knitting Circle, which was published, I believe, in 2007. Yep, 2007. And then another by the same author, Anne Hood, The Book That Matters Most. And I believe this one was 2016, maybe? Yeah, 2016. And I haven't seen a lot of this author on BookTube, but both of these books are very good. They're kind of like, I would say, chick lit, I guess you could say. The Knitting Circle is about a woman who has recently lost a child and her kind of journey through grief and, you know, mending herself, mending her and her husband's relationship, finding new friends, and just building her life back up. It's very, very good. I really enjoyed this one. And then similarly, The Book That Matters Most, this is about a woman who has been married for, gosh, over 20 years, and her husband leaves her for another woman. And so it's her kind of rebuilding her life and what that means to her. And then on the flip side, there is half the book is actually also about her daughter, who's in her early 20s. She's off in Europe, supposedly learning things about art, and you kind of follow her journey through addiction and poor choices, and it's really interesting, the juxtaposition between their lives. I read this a while ago and it's all still like in my head, so it really did sit with me. There's also a underlying history that involves the mother of the story's mother, and that's really interesting because you get a lot of flashbacks and it really ties in through the entire book, which was really interesting. So this is an author I don't often see on BookTube, so I thought I would just kind of bring that to the forefront, and if you have read either of these, let me know what you thought. Last question is Trampoline Class. I actually sprained my ankle on a trampoline, so I don't really like that. I don't like trampolines. But anywho, what book do you absolutely love, but it's underrated? Now, same thing with the Anne Hood. I wasn't really sure what books are underrated. I don't read a lot of like popular books. So I guess, I mean, all the books I read are underrated. So again, I picked another author I don't see too much of on BookTube, and a book of theirs that I really enjoyed. And that is The Last Report on the Miracles at Little No Horse by Louise Erdrich. Now, I have seen Terry from Terry's book talk about Erdrich, because Terry was trying to go through all of her backlist and read those. I'm not sure if Terry's doing too much on her channel anymore. I know she kind of stepped away for a little while, but this is an author you need to pick up. She is absolutely wonderful. A Native American author, does a wonderful job. A lot of her stories are intertwined through generations of the same characters. And in the forefront of all of her books, there's usually this timeline or family tree. So it'll show you who everyone is, where they are from, and who their children are, and all of that. This particular book is so good. It is about Little No Horse, which is a place, and a priest comes to look over the reservation and basically help these people through Christianity, because, you know, that's how it goes. And it is a story through the ages. We learn so much of the past, the present, and the future. And let me tell you, a lot of this stuff was appalling. A lot of this stuff was like mesmerizing. And I mean, this is a wonderful book. So again, I don't know if this is underrated, but it's not an author I see a lot on BookTube, and this is a really good book. So definitely, if you are interested in Native American history and just a amazing story, pick this one up. And of course, the last thing to do is to tag some more booktubers. And I know that this book tag has been out for a little while, so I'm not quite sure who's already done it and then thereafter have tagged people that I know. If you have not yet done this tag and you want to do this tag, consider yourself tagged. I will also tag Alex at Alex Black Reads, Karen Evans. I'm going to tag Charlie over at Bookish Raider. So if any of you want to do this tag, go ahead and do it. And if you want to do the tag, tag your it. And that's really all I have for you today. I need to probably be a little bit better at working out, especially with the holidays coming right around the corner, because we all know Danny likes food. So I will be eating probably more than I should. But until next time, everyone, I hope you are reading something great, taking care, and staying safe. I am so very thankful for each and every one of you. So I hope you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. But until then, you know how it goes. Happy reading. Bye.